I was poppin'. It's your boy Big Rich. Friday night business. Just stopped home to conduct some. Roll myself a little bit of Gorilla Glue, sprinkled with a bit of live resin. It's about to get serious. Gentlemen, wipe your feet on the rug. Throw some smoke in the atmosphere. Let's get right down to business. By Ed Scarpo of the Cosa Nostra News. Salute and respect. John Alite points to lawyers' collaboration to say John Jr. Gotti talk to the feds first. Gangland News this week offered new details and corroboration for a story that Cosa Nostra News first wrote more than 5 years ago when former Gambino associate John Alite spoke to Cosa Nostra News to the release of George Anastasia's Gotti Rules. As reported then, in 2005, Alite told Cosa Nostra News the Gambino family hierarchy got word to him while he was fighting extradition to the U.S. from a Brazilian prison. That John Jr. Gotti was talking to the feds while he was fighting extradition to the U.S. from a Brazilian prison. That John Jr. Gotti was talking to the feds. John Gotti's son is a rat. That should be the biggest news in the world, he said. When Alite learned of the 302 he'd been in process, he told Cosa Nostra News of helping former Gambino capo Ronnie One-Arm Trucchio, who was on trial when Alite got the word that John Jr. had proffered and that a 302 had been floated. Alite said that the 302, the existence of which had been reported previously, but Cosa Nostra News published the actual document, had been given to the Gambino family administration when Nicholas Little Nicky Carrazzo was acting boss. Now this week, Alite told Gangland that attorney Joseph Carrazzo, the lawyer's son of former Gambino consigliere Joseph Jojo Carrazzo, the nephew of Capo Little Nicky Carrazzo, was the one who had informed him about Junior speaking to the FBI. Alite also said that the lawyer had arranged for him to receive the 5-page document while he was still in prison in Brazil. Carrazzo confirmed part of Alite's assertion for Gangland, namely that Alite stood shoulder to shoulder with Gambino wise guys to fight the feds long after John Jr. on January 18, 2005, fingered his deceased mob boss father and 2 Gambino mobsters for murders. Quote, I did speak to Alite before the trial, and he did give me impeachment material that I was able to use against government witnesses, Carrazzo, the noted lawyer, told Gangland. When John Alite testified against John Jr., he was mauled by the media. Newspapers ran front-page stories and headlines calling him a rat and portrayed him as everything from a junkie to a liar. But when the news of Junior's 302 was leaked, the same outlet that vilified Alite were suspiciously mum. John Jr. got on 60 Minutes 3 times and lied. He got on the courtroom steps and called me and a million of these guys who cooperated, rats and everything. They wrote about all that. Now that he's proven to be a rat, they have written one article. Alite learned Jr. was cooperating while he was fighting extradition to the U.S. from one of the worst prisons on earth, Presidio Alifranco. Back in 2015, Alite told us that Gotti lawyer Charlie Canassi had made the 302 available to Danny Marino, a Gambino capo from Queens. Carnessi was Danny Marino's lawyer for years. Danny took a plea from the Heidel murder because Charlie Carnessi warned him about Jr. already cooperating. Alite continued, quote, I don't care what Jr. is trying to spin about the argument that a 302 does not necessarily mean someone is ratting. We know what the 302 is. Quote, I'm in Brazil speaking on a smuggled phone. I was trying to help Ronnie One-Arm beat his case. This is before Ronnie One-Arm blames everything on me in his opening statement. He threw me under the bus with Junior because he knew John Jr. was ratting already. Alite told Cosa Nostra News today, timeline is the key. Remember the Bonanno family's whole regime, like Joe Massino and Sal Vitale and Frank Coppa, were against me. I was left for dead in a Brazil prison. I can walk you through 12 made guys who were rats first and how complex was Junior's cooperation, including inmate blackout car movements and fake court appearances in another city to cover meetings to move him through the back entrance. Gangland also paints a picture of Junior's led conspiracy to get John Alite thrown in prison, noting there are several folks who unquestionably did do Gotti's bidding, including Chris Casparosa of the John Alite facts page. Casparosa is the journalist who is working with Junior to produce and write what they tout as a TV and book deal about the Federal Witness Protection Program, WITSEC Mafia. Interesting. Casparosa, replying to Gangland, quote, wrote, "There's no way that Alite got the 302 while he was in Brazil." Also said that he had found previously uncovered evidence that links Alite to a grisly, unsolved 1982 murder. Tina Faglia was 19 when in February 1982 she was found dismembered and stuffed into 3 bags strewn along the shoulder of the northbound Sagiticos Parkway. Foglia loved Long Island's hard rock 80s music scene and often visited Hammerheads, a club once located on Sunrise Highway in West Islip. In fact, she was last seen alive at the club on February 1st, 1982. She left about 3 a.m. She has been known to hitchhike. Never mind that at the time of the murder was committed, John Alite was 19 and in Los Angeles, as Gangland reports, so he would have had trouble committing the crime halfway across the continental United States. But Casparosa handed in evidence over to the cops. The case remains unsolved. We don't know when Chris communicated with Gangland, but according to a text message made available to Cosa Nostra News, he wrote back in February that investigators more or less implied while there is evidence suggesting he did it, they no longer believe Alite did it, if they ever did. Skipping over an obvious question raised by years-long Gotti stooge inserting himself into a 35-year-old cold case murder, we ask, he still told Gangland in a story published in late April 2020 that Alite was a suspect. Also, in addition to what Gangland wrote about the Junior-led conspiracy to get John Alite thrown in prison, we have corroboration from another text message sent to Cosa Nostra News today. In this text message below, Casparosa wrote to another party, quote, "Here's the deal. If you can help get Alite on tape making a drug deal and tell me all you know about him, your part in the story gets rewritten. I will do all I can to portray you as a hero for helping to expose him." He seems to be promising someone that if the person were to obtain tape of Alite making a drug deal and also tell all he knows about Alite, then he will get something in return. Namely, that a story will be rewritten and Chris will do all he can to portray you as the hero for helping to expose Alite. That's many things, but it ain't journalism. Think for yourselves, folks. First of all, salute to Ed Scarpo. Great article. Cosa Nostra News. Mob Story, Season 2. Salute to Thor 4644 for just subscribing while I was doing this mob story. That's epic. Gentlemen, like, comment, share. Let me know what you're smoking on, and salute. We will talk soon.